Yo, I don't rev match anymore, and here's why. Because it doesn't work consistently for me, and I'd rather prioritize front brake application. Now, if your attention span is that of a child gone off that juicy juice, there you have your answer. Goodbye. But for those of you who can concentrate, let me explain. Now, if you don't know what rev matching is, I'll link a couple of videos below. Go check those out and come back. Good. Now we all know what it is, and we do it to keep from upsetting the bike after a downshift. Rear chatter or rear hop is something that rev matching can prevent. But, big but, huge but, Kim K, Nicki Minaj but, rev matching does nothing when we have back torque. Now you may be thinking, back torque? Yoshi, what the f is back torque? Back torque is force from your rear wheel trying to turn your engine over. An example of this is push starting your bike. So when you do that, you have your bike in gear, you pull your clutch lever in, and you get your bike up to speed, whether you're pushing it yourself or rolling downhill. Now what you do is you drop the clutch. Now the back torque from the rear wheel turns your engine over, getting your engine to crank and start back up. Now, when you're off the throttle and you're heavy on your front brake, and your bike has some relatively strong engine braking, like my 600RR does, this is what's happening. The engine RPMs will drop drastically, your rear wheel gets lighter, so there's less gravitational force on it, so there's less friction on it, and now we're introducing back torque. Now I say rev matching won't help back torque because you can get back torque even before you switch gears. But now I'm not just gonna say it, I'm gonna show it. In this clip here, I'm in third gear the whole time, but there's still enough back torque to create that rear chatter. This is why I say it doesn't work consistently for me. Technically, when you switch gears by just dumping the clutch, you don't slip the clutch, or you don't rev match, technically you're introducing back torque. So yes, technically rev matching can prevent back torque, but there's instances, as I've shown, to where you're not switching gears and you still get back torque anyways. So in those instances, blipping the throttle does nothing. There's no revolutions to match because you're in the same gear. So since I don't rev match, I slip the clutch manually, or feather the clutch out, or progressively release the clutch lever to allow that rear wheel and the engine to sync back up. Now I'm not saying rev matching doesn't work, but I want you to imagine a corner that you're coming into where you want to be able to brake as late as you can comfortably. During your braking phase, you're going to need to slow your bike down enough to where you feel that you're going at an adequate speed to turn into the corner. So for me, the only thing I want to focus on during my braking phase is how much pressure I'm applying in my tip-in point. Those are the only things I want to focus on. I don't want to focus on being able to keep consistent brake pressure while also blipping the throttle. It just takes so much finesse to be able to, let's say, keep 80% brake pressure and blip the throttle. For me, I'm either going to release a little bit of brake pressure or I'm going to grab more brake pressure. Now, if you're in an instance to where you're almost maxed out on brake pressure, you're either going to lift that rear tire up or you're going to come off and slow down less. So these are just scenarios I want to avoid. That's why I said I'd rather prioritize my front brake application. Now I want you to pay attention to the difference in speed between these two clips coming into the same corner during different track days after I gained a little bit more experience. The first clip is when I was still very new to track riding and I was rev matching. And the second is when I stopped and I only feathered the clutch out now. I hope you've made it this far in this video, and you can tell that I'm not saying rev matching is wrong. I'm just saying how it's wrong for me on track. Now, when I'm parking lot pimping on my street sweeper, you know, when I'm riding that hog, I still rev match because it sounds nice. But when I need to get that bike slowed down, it's easier to do that without worrying about that throttle. Now, y'all stay blessed, don't be too stressed. Master Yoshi out. Peace.